What's up, Black and Gold Nation? Welcome back to another video, your go-to spot for everything happening with our Pittsburgh Steelers. No fluff, just the kind of analysis you can only find here. Today's news is hot and full of controversy. A former starting wide receiver for the Steelers, once seen as a future cornerstone of our offense, is back in the spotlight. Deontay Johnson, after bouncing around several teams, has just been released by the Cleveland Browns and sent a message on social media. Let's break it all down. Before diving into this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free, it helps us a ton, and it shows that the Black and Gold Nation is more united than ever. I'm counting on you. Let's talk about Deontay Johnson, a name that split opinions during his time in Black and Gold. Drafted in 2019, he quickly made a name for himself with sharp routes and the ability to create separation. In 2023, he was the Steelers' top wide receiver, leading the team in receptions and yards. But, as we've seen before in the Mike Tomlin era, talent alone isn't enough. When production drops or off-field issues pile up, the franchise doesn't hesitate to move on. Since leaving Pittsburgh, Johnson's career has been a roller coaster. Carolina Panthers, Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, a brief return to the Ravens, and finally, the Cleveland Browns. 4 teams in 2 seasons. With the Browns, he came in hoping for a fresh start, but lasted only a few months. And here's the interesting part. Even after being cut, Johnson kept his composure. He went on social media and wrote, "Appreciate the opportunity regardless." A serious tone, different from what many were used to seeing from him. While Johnson's name is back in the headlines, it's worth noting that the Steelers are busy strengthening their wide receiver group. Among the young players drawing attention, Peyton Wilson, though a linebacker, has shown leadership potential on defense. But on offense, eyes are on the rookies who could fill the void left by veterans. One name to watch is replaced with the name of a real Steelers wide receiver in 2025. A speedy player with strong hands who could bring the explosiveness this offense needs. These young guys could be crucial for making the Steelers' attack more dynamic, especially now that the NFL is putting more emphasis on the passing game. And, of course, whenever we talk roster moves, the topic of trades always comes up. There are rumors that the Steelers might still explore the market to add more offensive firepower, especially after trading George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys, a move that surprised many. Names like DK Metcalf have even been floated as potential targets. And while that deal would be bold, it shows that the front office isn't afraid to take risks to give Kenny Pickett, or the next starting QB, elite weapons. Now that Johnson is a free agent, will another team take a chance on him? He's still got skills, but consistency and attitude have always been the question marks. Teams like the Texans or Panthers could circle back, but it all depends on how much they're willing to gamble on a player with a bit of a history. So, Nation, I want to hear from you. Does Deontay Johnson deserve another shot in the NFL? Would you like to see him back in the division? Or is it better to move on with fresh talent? And what do you think about the Steelers' moves, the Pickens trade, and the possibility of adding new offensive weapons? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk.
Let's get straight to the point. Chuck Clark. For those who don't remember, the 30-year-old veteran joined the Steelers recently, just a little over a month ago, in a move that many analysts called a very smart decision by the front office. Why? Depth at the safety position. When the team released its initial 53-man roster, it was clear there was a hole there. Only 3 safeties were available: Deshaun Elliott, Juan Thornhill, and Miles Kilbrew, who, let's remember, is more of a special teams ace than a reliable defensive piece in critical situations. And the most concerning part? All of this came after the departure of Minkah Fitzpatrick, who had been one of the pillars of this defense for years. In other words, the lack of depth was glaring and raised a lot of questions among fans and analysts. That's where Chuck Clark comes in. We're talking about a guy with a lot of NFL experience, 108 games played, most of them as a starter for the Baltimore Ravens, a division rival, which makes this signing even more interesting. In Baltimore, Clark was known as a versatile, intelligent, and highly dependable player, even serving as the defensive leader at times. In 2022, for example, he recorded 101 tackles, 61 of them solo, and was a real nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. In 2021, he had 12 passes defended and forced key turnovers. He's the kind of player who understands the game, reads offenses well, and rarely makes careless mistakes. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. In 2023, Clark suffered a serious ACL injury during training camp, which ended his season with the New York Jets before it even began. But the veteran showed resilience and returned last year, playing in 12 games for the Jets. Even coming off injury, he put up solid numbers: 69 tackles, 2 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, and 1 recovery. Now fully healthy, eager to prove his value, and motivated to show he can still play at a high level, Clark returns to the AFC North wearing black and gold. And he's not just here to fill a spot. The expectation is that he'll compete for playing time and bring stability to a secondary still searching for its identity without Minkah Fitzpatrick. And we can't forget another important factor: leadership. Clark has always been known as a vocal presence in the locker room. He has playoff experience, knows the physical style of the AFC North, and can be the player who guides younger teammates, organizes the defense on the field, and gives the coaching staff confidence. For a team focusing on renewal, that's gold. Speaking of renewal, it's worth mentioning the rookies. The Steelers have been investing heavily in young talent this season, but not all of them will be ready for kickoff. Rookie quarterback Will Howard and defensive back Deontay Johnson are expected to start the year on the short-term injured list. That opens even more opportunities for Chuck Clark to shine. While the young players recover and gain experience, having a veteran ready to shoulder heavy responsibilities is a big advantage. Every snap in the NFL matters, and that adjustment period is crucial for these players to return stronger without rushing the process. Clark's presence ensures that the rotation stays solid and the defense doesn't lose quality. And it doesn't stop there. The Steelers' front office is staying active. Bringing in Chuck Clark could be just the first step in a series of moves. Recently, the team also added Max Sharping to the roster, strengthening the offensive line. This shows that Mike Tomlin and his staff aren't just waiting for things to happen. They're being proactive. Moving players to injured reserve to free up space suggests more reinforcements could come, whether via trades or targeted signings. Nothing surprises when it comes to Pittsburgh, a team always chasing maximum competitiveness throughout the season. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Chuck Clark's return? Can he get back to the level he showed in Baltimore and become a new leader for the Steelers' defense in 2025? And what about the rookies, Will Howard and Deontay Johnson? Will they have a role when they return? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk fan to fan. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other Steelers fans who live this passion. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Here's to another season full of excitement for the Black and Gold Nation.